Hey guys, and welcome back. This is about my 5th time of recording this because obviously I can't be bothered to edit things. So yeah, hopefully I get this one right. But the setting that we'll be covering today is disable share with everyone. And this is a Canvas app specific setting within your tenant settings, and it does what it says on the tin essentially. So just to read it verbatim, so it's got the ability to turn off share of everyone capability for non-admin users in all PowerApps. So the default value is true. So that's important to note that the default value is true for once. This setting, which is pretty important, has got the right configuration from the get-go. But it's important to check your settings that you've got to make sure that this is probably set to true by default. And it's not something that you can necessarily see through the UI tenant settings. It's much easier to get to through the pack CLI and the tenant settings that I've got as this JSON object. So how will I demo this? So we've got my Big Dave user on the demo environment here, and he's simply an environment maker and a basic user. And for now, I've set this setting to false. So what this will mean is if I go into an app and I share this app, I will be able to share it with everyone in my tenant. So if I select share, I can either set them as a user or a co-owner, and I can share. And that means that this Canvas app is now shared to everyone within the organization. Now, obviously, you can see how this could have some pretty damaging ramifications go down the line. People may not need access to this app, especially if you've shared them as an owner. They can then edit things and break things. It could have sensitive information within the application that, if not permissioned properly, could then be exposed to everyone within the organization. It's generally good just to keep your applications locked down to just the subset of users that need access to it. So how can we lock this down? So that would just be a case of enabling this setting. As I mentioned, it's already kind of enabled by default. So for the most part, you should be safe here, but it's still worth checking. So let me just remove the access for everyone in this instance. So we're starting from a fresh slate. And then what I will do is we will go back to our terminal window, and then we'll set this back to true. So for those of you who don't know, this is using the pack CLI, and I'm basically using the command pack admin update tenant settings, and I'm passing the setting name. Now it's important to note that for this setting, it's kind of a nested object that we've got. So it exists underneath Power Platform, and then it exists within PowerApps, and then it's under disable share with everyone. So when referencing the name, it needs to be the path of that setting. So Power Platform, Power Apps, disable share of everyone. Again, you can pass the entire file, but this is just a way that you can update individual settings. So if I set this then back to true, it will take a little second to set it. But then if I go back to my demo environment with my Big Dave account, give it a little refresh just to make sure that those settings are propagated on through. And if I then try and share this now, you'll see a nice little error message. So if I share this with everyone, select share, what we should then see is the ability to share with everyone has been restricted to specific admins. So as I mentioned, this would be restricted to Power Platform admins, global admins, etc. But it does just then prevent kind of environment makers and things like that from being able to share Canvas apps with everyone, which is definitely not something that you want, especially within kind of larger scale enterprise businesses. So hopefully this helps you in future. As I mentioned, it's enabled by default, so hopefully not too much cause for concern, but definitely something to check in on, and at least you now know how to change it as well. Cheers, guys.